Thanks for your support as a channel member, Justin Inakaitis. Last time out in Japan, Fred Vesti got the team its best ever finish, and now we're 8th in the Constructors' Championship. But the next two races in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia probably won't play to our strengths. Hello folks, and welcome to a brand new episode of AHGP here on F1 Manager 2024. We're gearing up for the Bahrain and the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We're doing a double header episode, so 2 races coming your way today. But first, we need to go to the inbox because we need to vote on regulation changes. Obviously, we're in 2025 in-game, which means we're just months away from the new cars for 2026. So we can have major regulation changes or a complete regulation overhaul. I think it's probably best to do that. Just see what happens. It's kind of a coin toss as to what happens with the AI. So we voted for a complete change, basically. Give us brand new cars, please. Now, there is something else I wanted to do before we head to Bahrain, and everything's basically set in stone, although we're still 4 days out in game. I do want to go to our staff and our race engineers. So I was just having a look beforehand. We don't actually have the worst engineers on the grid. So if we have a look at the filter here, Championship F1, and then we rank by overall rating, Haas have got a worse engineer. Red Bull, Yuki Tsunoda's engineer, is only 39 rated. Lewis Hamilton's Ferrari engineer is 49 rated. We've got some very, very raw talent on the pit wall there. But we've got something even better available to us as a free agent. I'm going to try and sign Peter Bonington. Let's go. Position car 1. Let's give him all the money. There we go. 3.5 million. Let's do that. Give him a nice signing bonus. 30 grand. I mean, it's only going to cost us 141 grand to bin off Lisa and bring Bono in for 3 years to work with Paul Aaron. So let's offer the contract. Mercedes have let him go. He's a free agent, and hopefully he's coming to AHGP. We've moved time forward to the point where the Bahrain Grand Prix weekend is about to start. So how this is going to work, I'll run through practice, then I'm going to simulate qualifying, or I might play it just off camera, and then I'll update you ahead of the Grand Prix, and then we'll do the Grand Prix, and we'll just repeat for Saudi Arabia. So I'll just take the best bits out of each race, and you'll see all of that, and then we'll put it together. Double header episode, job done. If you see here, the car performance index, we are not going to be strong this weekend, so we're looking at just beating whoever's slowest, which might actually be Haas. So there's a chance we might drop down the Constructors' Championship order today. However, we do aim to retain our top spot in the pit stop competition, so that's probably what you'll be seeing a lot of pit stops. Qualifying done and dusted. We were last with Paul Aaron and 17th with Fred Vesti. We're just setting up the strategies here. I'm taking a couple of laps of fuel out for both drivers. It's soft, medium soft for Paul Aaron and medium soft soft for Fred Vesti. We've actually outperformed expectation with Fred, although I do think he's got a new chassis on that Paul doesn't have. Indeed, yeah, I forgot to put the new chassis on for Paul Aaron, but that's fine. He'll have that for Saudi Arabia. And yeah, let's get to the grid in Sakir and see what we can achieve in this first race of the day. Red Bull have locked out the front row, but the 2 Ferraris are on their tails. We've got 5 red lights in Bahrain. The lights are out. The race is on. Let's see what Fred Vesti can do from 17th on the grid on his medium tyres. Charging down to turn 1. We're going down the outside of Zhou, and that is, well, it was momentarily 16th place, and there's just a car park here that everyone is trying to negotiate their way around and through, and Fred has got himself up into 16th ahead of the V-carb of Zhou Guanyu, and that is a very good start indeed. Fred Vesti is a man possessed. We're inside his helmet. That is Sergio Perez off the track, and he's now lining up an overtake on Pierre Gasly. So a double move here by Fred Vesti to kick things off in Bahrain, and it moves him up into 15th. Well, it was 14th. He's currently side by side with the Alpine. And can we get the job done? We've got DRS. We should be good to go from here. We can be aggressive on the mediums in the opening phase, so that is good news. Paul Aron now moves into 21st position ahead of Esteban Ocon, and he's going to size up a move on Oliver Behrman now. Fred has passed Alex Albon. Here he is on the inside to turn 11, and it was a clean move, in fact. But the Williams does have damage. I think he had contact on the opening lap. Indeed, Albon does have some damage, so that is certainly slowing him down. What we'll do now is deploy some battery with Fred to try and get him in play with Bottas. Gasly has just taken off. We've got a mixture of soft and mediums with everybody. Ferrari actually leading the race. Where are Red Bull? They've just gone backwards from the front row. Are they on mediums? No, Verstappen's on softs, Tsunoda's on mediums. Yeah, that's surprising. Right, we are on the gearbox of Bottas. Hopefully we can move forward into P12, but there's a nice gap from Gasly to Sainz that I don't think we'll be bridging anytime soon. Not without a safety car anyway. There's some nice progress here for Paul Aron. He's lunging down the inside as we go 4 at once into turn 1. Paul Aron getting it moved up the order. I think that was passing Liam Lawson's Alpine, and he's just past Sergio Perez as well. He's coming alive, is Paul Aron, and now he's after Nico Hülkenberg. So yeah, we're maybe not as bad as we thought we might be around this circuit. Oh, Paul has just locked up and ruined all of the good work that he had done. He just got himself onto the back of Zhou Guanyu in the V-carb, and then this happens. He's looking at a potential overtake and then locks the inside front, runs off track. Then he's very polite in the way he rejoins. That is bad news for his tyres, bad news for his race. As a result of that lockup, I've changed Paul Aron's strategy. We're going for a 3-stop with the Estonian, 2.2 second stop. Lovely jubbly, and out we go back onto circuit. We're going to be able to push now on fresh tyres as I think Lewis Hamilton has gone off, maybe? Yeah, he's had a spin at turn 11. I just saw him drop down behind George Russell, his former teammate, and now we can be aggressive on all the tyres with Paul Aron and hopefully do something similar to what we did with Fred in Japan and put a load of pressure on people around us. So hopefully he picks up his pace and then we'll be right back in the fight. Fred Vesti's got himself up into 12th position. He's going around the outside at turn 4 against Pierre Gasly. Better traction, and through goes Vesti. And now he is chasing Valtteri Bottas for 11th, and he's challenging the Finn, and he's got him. Amazing move. Fred Vesti into 11th place. Now can we defend it? We've got DRS. Let's do a nice big harvest into turn 1, and then we will have to try and protect ourselves from here. Going to be difficult. Bottas has DRS. He goes round the outside and repays the compliment. But we're very much in the fight here. Any one of the top 10 has a race-ending issue. We could be there to pounce for our first ever points. But actually, this result would move Sauber ahead of us. So it's mighty important that Fred gets this overtake done cleanly. Bottas resists. He's running slightly off track, and we're through for 11th place. Come on. It's a slow stop. That's not going to win us any prizes at all. That's far from ideal. And what's that coming down the... Oh, that was Zhou, and we've managed to fend him off. I think we've lost a place to Albon. Yeah, he's undercut us, so has Bottas, but we're going to have much better tyres for the next few laps, so we can push on them a little bit more. Let's get up to speed and close that gap down. Paul Aron, by the way, his strategy has got him ahead of Lawson, but he's obviously going to be on the back foot for a little bit here, and then 2 more stops to make. Does leave him some work to do, but the tyre wear around here is horrendous. Oh no. Fred has been... Oh, for Christ's sake. Zhou Guanyu, you absolute pleb. Well, actually, no. Well, yeah, he kind of drifted to the outside. That was a bit... Yeah, ref, have a look at that. That's damaged our front wing. Fantastic. Good thing we've got 5 more of them. Right, well, we've got another set of mediums. We'll just have to stick them on, I suppose, unless... yeah, let's do the mediums and then we'll come back in for another set of softs. Second pit stop of the evening for Paul Aaron. We now find ourselves 21st and 22nd as a result of lockups and damage. And yeah, we probably won't spend too much more time on this race. It was going really well, but now it's all gone completely pear-shaped. And I'm very sad about it, to be honest. Oscar Piastri has just started the final lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix, but we are chasing Esteban Ocon for P19. So we're going to attack with Fred Vesti. We've got tyres to do it, so let's get after the Haas and at least beat them. We're only 3.5 seconds behind Zhou. Actually, that's a nice overtake from Fred. Good job. What's Zhou on? I think he's on mediums. He did get a penalty for the collision earlier on. Apparently we're limited on fuel, but we should be fine because we are a lap down. So, Fred, can you catch Zhou on the final lap? You're going to be under pressure from Ocon, and we know Ocon likes to battle. And, oh, it was close, but we just about come out on top. And in comes Ocon again, putting his nose in where it's not really wanted, to be honest. Behrman takes the checkered flag. He's 2 laps down as Oscar Piastri wins his first race of the season. Can we close down Zhou in the final few meters? We're giving it one hell of a go. I think we're going to come up short, though. This has not been a great race in the end, sadly. One more lap and we would have had him. Paul Aaron comes home in 21st. So we get Vesti's achievement, his sponsor target of 19th. Paul Aaron misses out. But the lockup and the damaged front wing really blew our strategy apart. Fred was driving magnificently up until that damage and probably would have ended up somewhere around here. He would have ended up, well, he would have been 20 seconds ahead of Zhou. That's for certain. And we failed to win the pit stop prize for the first time this season, but we do pick up 3rd. We remain top of the pit stop charts. So let's get to Saudi Arabia and hopefully that brings better fortune. We're barely a day out from the Bahrain Grand Prix and we've got an accepted contract by Bono. Well, we're going to improve our engineering capacity tremendously here. He's going to join the team. Peter Bonington has joined AHGP. This is fantastic. He is going to be working with Paul Aaron, and what a bloke, eh? What a brilliant bloke. Let's have a look at his stats. Obviously they're going to be nerfed by the mentality, which I believe he's negative because he doesn't know his driver. His biggest issue is the car performance. So obviously because the car is bad, he is sad. Obviously that rhymes, but welcome Peter Bonington, hooray. Also to update you on the technical regulations, most people voted in favour of a complete overhaul, except Mercedes, Williams, VCarb and Aston Martin, which is interesting. So yeah, we'll have a major nerfing for season 3, but that's a long way in the future. I'm going to crack on and introduce Bono to everybody and just tell him how much I love him, really. Just before we dive into the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, we've actually improved the car. We've got some new upgrades on, so a new front wing and a new underfloor on both cars. So we have gone from not being very good at most things, we're now pretty good. We're kind of mid, which is an improvement on just being bad. So we lack a bit of top speed, which is definitely useful in Jeddah. Although it says medium speed, top speed, well, yeah, top speed and DRS effectiveness. So we are 15th on the sort of performance ranking. So maybe if the race is super crazy, we can easily pick off a point or two. Maybe even a mid top 10 result if it's like wild. But that's positive. I mean, I mean, look at this for the US, for Miami. We should be challenging the top 10. And in Imola. Oh my God, Monaco, we're going to be amazing. We're going to win the Monaco Grand Prix, lads. You heard it here first. Right, let's go to Jeddah and don't destroy the cars. We have had an amazing qualifying session in Saudi Arabia. We're both eliminated in Q2. 11th for Paul Aarons, 14th for Fred Vesti. I did put fresh engines in for both of them because Aarons was at 44% and Fred's was at 52, I think. So we're gaining from that, but we've had a fantastic session. Zhou Guanyu crashed, Pierre Gasly crashed, so we've profited from other people's problems. And also our car is just better now. So we're actually in the fight with Williams. Paul Aaron will start ahead of both Albon and Sainz. Unbelievable scenes. Who gets pole position? Max Verstappen. Shock horror. And then, yeah, it's just the rest of the top 10. They're all fairly close. 27, well, I'll say 27-2, but then a 28-1 back to Ricciardo. So the top 9 covered by about 9/10. Kimi Antonelli a little ways off, but for us, outstanding. Let's do some strategy and get to the grid. Same strategy for both drivers, medium hards, and then we've underfueled by a couple of laps. I'm hoping there is chaos and carnage everywhere but with our team, and that we can profit from it. We've got 100% car setup satisfaction with both drivers. Bono doing the business already. Paul Aaron had that from his very first run. So Bono is making a difference already. Fred took a little while longer to get to this point, but we've been here since the end of FP1. Both drivers happy, looking fast. Can we get points today in this episode? We've just had a bit of a rubbish ending to Bahrain. Hopefully Jeddah is better. Let's get to the grid for this motor race. It's another Red Bull front row lockout. The lights are coming on and the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is go. The lights are out. The race is on. Paul Aaron from 11th on the grid. What are you up to? You can actually see both our cars there flanking the Williamses, although Ocon is sneaking around the outside. Paul hangs on to P11 at the start. We've just lost a position to Ocon. That's disappointing, but we'll hopefully be able to snatch that back pretty quickly once DRS is enabled, although Gasly getting up the inside was not part of the plan. And Paul Aaron immediately already dropping back from Ricciardo's Aston Martin. So this might be as far as we get unless other people have issues. But, you know, for Paul, a good start, safe start. We've only lost that one position with Fred, but we've come out of it with no damage, which is always good. But most people ahead of us are on softs. Hamilton's on hards. Sainz behind on softs. He's going to be quick. That could be a problem for us, but we're going to run long into this race and hope that there is a safety car for us to utilise for our pit stop. Paul Aaron is actually challenging Daniel Ricciardo and Kimi Antonelli here. He's gone with the lead pack. We're actually fighting the leaders here. We are. Oh, Ocon has been overtaken by Vesti. Great news. Let's have a look at this. DRS down the inside. Thank you very much. Easy overtake, and hopefully that's the last we see of Ocon today. Well, there's been a collision between Antonelli and Ricciardo. We're just going to have a look at this here. We had dropped back to 13th behind the Williamses, and this is Ricciardo missing his braking point and punting Antonelli. He did get hit quite badly, and Ricciardo has dropped down the order. Where's Paul Aaron? There he is. So he is now back up into 11th. We've got ourselves ahead of Albon now, actually. So that's good news. Vesti up to 12th. We are going great guns. Ricciardo will almost certainly get a penalty for that. How is that not a penalty? How? Right, Sainz is a little bit up the road, but he's on soft tyres, so hopefully he'll come back towards us later in the race. Let's just keep out of trouble. It was going so well, and now we've locked up, and that's bad news. He's just behind his teammate. I told him to lower the aggression in overtaking, and it's just a plain mistake. Fred made that exact same mistake last season at the same corner. So now we're going to have to rebuild Paul's race as well. How far behind has he dropped? He's dropped 3 seconds behind Ocon. He's now behind Ricciardo and Albon. Definitely need a safety car for him, but at least the car's not damaged. That's the bright side, I suppose.
No snipe, you're okay, mate.
Oh dear. We've got damage to Paul Aaron's car now. He's lost a bit of a front wing end plate. I think he's had a tangle with Nico Hülkenberg. They've been having a bit of a scrap. And what's happened here? Oh, they've just met in the middle, really.
Big contact.
It was a fairly hefty contact, yes, Nico. That's not ideal. We'll probably pick up a penalty for that. So, 10 laps in, Paul Aaron has gone from being 11th to now damaged and 16th. Investigation. No penalty. Oh, phew. No penalties given. So we'll probably need to change his strategy from here to a 2-stop, because otherwise we're going to lose way too much time. Good news though that Fred Vesti is fighting Alex Albon for 11th. Ricciardo is hunting us down, and Paul Aaron has dropped to 17th. We're probably going to need to bring him in and hope for a safety car later on. So Paul Aaron is back in the action. He's pushing on his hard tyres. We're running him deep into the race on these, probably about lap 35, 36. He's now back fighting Hülkenberg. They're 3 wide into the final corner. Turn 270,000 on this track, but Hülkenberg sweeps back past with DRS, as does Sergio Perez. 2 very high quality drivers in poor machinery, it must be said, comparative to their ability. However, Fred Vesti going beautifully at the moment. He's defending from Kimi Antonelli's Mercedes in 10th place. Fred Vesti in for his one and only stop, hopefully, today. Can we do a really fast pit stop? 2.3 seconds. Yes, we can. Lovely stuff. Paul Aaron is now 18th as he continues to scrap away with Nico Hülkenberg. He's down the inside, can't find a way through. Vesti pops out in 14th. That's pretty good, isn't it? Ocon is on soft tyres. They're going to struggle to make the end. So he should come back towards us. Albon 2. And maybe Antonelli? Although Ricciardo should get there first. Sainz, is he on a 2-stop? I'm worried that some of these teams are on a 2-stop here. This could be either really good or really bad for us. Fred has got himself onto the back of Esteban Ocon, and with DRS, he's going to scream past the Haas, and we're going to deploy. We're going to go aggressive on the tyres. Now we're going to pull away from the American car and make sure we aren't in any threat on the second half of the lap with DRS. Perez on softs as well. His tyres starting to wane. 15 laps to go. They've got a long way to take those. I don't think they're going to make it. They're going to have to stop again. So we could be finding ourselves fighting off an angry pack of cars on better tyres, which is going to be problematic, to say the least. Ocon has stopped and had a pit stop issue. He is away and gone as Paul Aaron enters the box. Is it a good stop? 2.5. It's not terrible. It's reasonable. But Fred Vesti doing a lovely job. He's now 20 seconds ahead of Perez, who has stopped for fresh tyres. So we are going to have to fend off a very fast Perez towards the end of this race and save fuel. That could be a bit of an issue for us. Final lap has been started in this race, and we are 13th with Fred Vesti. We haven't had the carnage that I was kind of hoping for, but Fred has driven a beautiful race. He started 14th. It looks like he's going to finish 13th. Paul Aaron should be up there with him, to be honest, but the lock-up and then the damage trying to get past Hülkenberg, who is still battling, by the way, has kind of set him back quite a lot. We're going to attack on the tyres with what we've got left and make sure we finish ahead of the Sauber. Just looking at the other teams, Williams are going to pick up a couple of points with Carlos Sainz, perhaps, although Ricciardo is angling for those. Williams are the team that are picking off the points at the moment. We are getting closer, but we have delivered a really solid drive here with Fred. He takes P13, his favourite P13. Let's see if Paul can get through past Nico Hülkenberg. Let's drive in clean air, go high overtake aggression. Can you get yourself through? We're going around the outside. Oh, it's a beautiful move. That is fantastic. And Paul Aaron will take P19. It could have been so much better having started 11th. But, you know, that's a strong way to finish the episode. Oh, that Sainz has been overtaken by Ricciardo. That might be crucial for us.
We'll bounce back from this on no sweat.
Good job from Fred Vesti there. P13. He picked up several of those last season. And it did us the world of good. He moved up one place from where he started. Obviously, Paul Aaron dropping 8 spots. Not a good race for him. Not a good episode for him, really. Lockups, damage. Yeah, but the speed is definitely there. He qualified really well, so we just got to put it together on race day for him. Here's the Drivers' Championship for what it's worth. Fred remains 14th. Paul remains 22nd, but the point where he moves up the order will come very, very quickly. He'll have a really good result and he'll shoot up the order. We remain 8th. We're 2 points off Williams, but if we can pick up a few points, start doing that, we'll maybe be able to finish 6th this season, because I think we're quicker than VCarb. We're definitely quicker than Alpine and Sauber now, and Haas, so we should be looking at trying to catch Williams. That's our target. How did we do in the Pit Stop Championship? 3rd fastest with Fred. The 2.51 with Paul wasn't quite quick enough, but we remain 40 points clear of Ferrari. We're good at something. I told you, we're good at pit stops, and that's about it. But the car's getting there, though. So there you go, 2 races today. We had a slightly disappointing day in Bahrain, but then Jeddah, while we didn't get any points, and Paul Aaron had a few incidents, the speed is definitely coming to this car. And I'm really looking forward to Monaco, where we look like we could actually score points on merit. So, yeah, make sure you join me for the next few races, because I think it's going to be really, really exciting. Leave a nice big thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more F1 Manager content very, very soon. And I'll see you next time. You're the best fans. It's bye for now.